we are here today to make official Sushila's election. First, Sushila and I would like to begin by acknowledging that we in Multnomah County District 2 and the room we are in rest on the traditional village sites of the Multnomah, Kathlamet, Clackamas, bands of the Chinook, Tualatin, Kalapuyu, Malala, and many other tribes who made their homes along the Columbia River. We thank the descendants of these tribes for being the original stewards and protectors of this land. We acknowledge that Portland has one of the largest urban Native American populations in the United States, with over 380 federally recognized tribes represented in the urban Portland metro area. We also acknowledge the systemic policies of genocide, relocation, and assimilation that still impact many Indigenous and Native American families today. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to make history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will, some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life, and some have lived on this land for more generations than can be counted. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We begin this effort to acknowledge what has been buried by honoring the truth. And now, an acknowledgement of the future of Multnomah County, where every child thrives. I am honored to introduce Kentaro Shimada, a student involved with Ethos, a local organization located just down the street that provides music education to students across Oregon each year. And Kentaro is here to welcome us with a song today. Next, I would like to introduce Multnomah County Chair Deborah Kafoury. Chair Kafoury has been fighting for women and families her entire life, first as a community member and then as an elected official. It was in 2008, right when the Great Recession hit, that she first won a seat on the county commission. And she quickly became the leading elected advocate in our state to fight homelessness and fight for housing stability and affordability. Her leadership was central to the now joint housing efforts between the county and the city, and in the recent passage of the Affordable Housing Bond. I'm excited to see her and Sushila work together, along with the three other powerful, amazing women who make up the all-female Multnomah County Board of Commissioners.
An important insight into Sushila Jayapal was when she came into my office, a little more than a year ago, wanting to talk to me about the potential for running for the Multnomah County Commission. And I said, great, give me what's your 2-minute spiel? Because of course, you're running for office, you've got a 2-minute spiel. She gave this speech worthy of her acceptance speech today. It was hands down the most amazing first-time candidate. I mean, it was better than any multiple-time candidates, but it was by far the best first-time candidate 2-minute why I want to run for office that I had ever heard. I was speechless. She was that good. And it was the first time I'd met her, which is really amazing to me because All of you know her. She has been involved in so many really important community activist, community involvement. She has just been, you know, from RAC to children's issues, she's done it all. She has been in a lot of different forums, and I hadn't had a chance to meet her. So you can imagine how blown away I was by this woman who was going to run for office. So immediately I threw my support to her, as did my fellow commissioners, Commissioner Sharon Myron, Commissioner Lori Stegman, and Commissioner Jessica Vega-Peterson. We all jumped to be on this team because we knew we wanted this woman to be working with us. So let's fast forward to this morning, and we had the formal swearing in this morning at our boardroom, and I was so filled, once again, filled with excitement and joy and hope, because she talked about it, and I hope you're not going to say all these same words again, because I'm going to repeat some of the things you said, because it was that good. She talked about how she understands the challenges that our community faces. She knows the challenges that Multnomah County faces with the institutional racism that we're trying to address, the challenges that people have all over our community. And instead of running away or criticizing or tweeting about it, what she did was she signed up. She signed up to join this team to help us fight for those in our community who don't have a voice at the table, those who need it the most. She wanted to be a part of this team, and we are all so very excited to have her. 2019 is going to be a great year. For many reasons, we have a lot of work to do. It's going to be a great year, but one of the reasons why it's going to be so great is because we're going to have Sushila on our team. Thank you.
Our next speaker is the Director of Family Services at the Native American Youth and Family Center and representative of Oregon's House District 43, Tana Sanchez. Representative Sanchez is known for her advocacy for kids in foster care and is a leading voice to change the narrative around addiction and get all Oregonians the care they need and deserve. Her district overlaps with Sushila's, ensuring their collaboration over the next 4 years on behalf of all the families of North and Northeast Portland. And I have no doubt that they will call upon each other and support each other in the fight for social justice.
So you're in District 43, you know, right here. I live just down the street. So my experience with Sushila Jayapal was very much like Commissioner Kafori's. I'd never met her before. I'd heard different things about her, and I was invited by Nicole Maher to come and meet her. And I thought, okay, sure, I'll go meet another person, because many people have been calling me and saying, hey, you know, endorse me, come talk to me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. But what I was really impressed with when I met her was that she could talk about her own experience from real life, and in a way that made much more sense to me as a woman of color also, but also as a person who just could recognize that you don't get it all easy, you know? Nothing's easy in the world. You have to make some sacrifices. You have to do some tough things. And I watched her through that whole process. I mean, I had agreed almost immediately to support her in her campaign, but I watched her through the process of running for office. And for those of you who've done it, you know it's not easy. It is not easy to run for office. It is a hard thing. And when you have opponents, you know, who really want that job too, you know, it makes it even more difficult. And I watched her do such an amazing job of stepping above the fray, of not stepping into any kind of disrespectful, you know, dialogue or anything like that. And I was so impressed by that. I was so impressed by her abilities, and I thought, man, she's going to be amazing. She's going to be amazing at this process, because she will be able to talk straight up through and know exactly what she's talking about, because she does do some research there. She'll know exactly what she's talking about and make sense of what's going on, and be able to help part of this process do something so much better for our communities and for, you know, the people of this community. We have such big things that we have to fix here. You know, there's so many huge issues that we have, not just in this city, in the county, but in this entire state. We have huge issues that we need to deal with. And I'm just so very, very proud to have supported somebody that I know is going to make a huge difference in how we do it. So welcome, and yes, let's make it happen.
quickly acknowledge that our next speaker was actually supposed to be Kathleen Sadat. She unfortunately is ill, so we wish her well. But if you don't know who she is a decades-long champion, particularly for civil rights, but for LGBTQ Oregonians. And you can see evidence of her work at both the state and local levels. So we wish her well. Which now puts us in the point of the program where the woman who holds the power to make this all official, Supreme Court Justice Adrienne Nelson. Yes. So for those of you who don't know, Governor Brown appointed Justice Nelson to the Oregon Supreme Court a year ago yesterday, making her the first African-American woman to sit on our highest court. Prior to that, she has a long legal career that includes time on the Multnomah County bench, time as a public defender, and among that workload, what I love and appreciate about Justice Nelson is all of her community and people-centered work. She serves on numerous boards and committees and in mentorship of others. She is known for all the time and encouragement she gives to others, helping each individual be their best self and live out their best lives. So with that, Justice Nelson.
Well, I don't have any formal remarks except to say when Sushila came to me in November of 2017 for us to meet, and we knew each other because she's a lawyer by training, so lawyers know each other. I was thrilled because I know how hardworking, I know her heart, and I knew that the citizens of Multnomah County couldn't have a better representative. So I was honored as we stayed in contact. A funny story was she figured out that I was going in for the multiple interviews that you have to go through to get the appointment that I currently got and sit in that seat. And she was like, why were you meeting with me that day? And I said, because I wanted to hear what you had to say and I wanted to support you. So let's get it done. All right. So if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Sushila Jayapal.
I, Sushila Jayapal.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
Of America.
Of America.
The Constitution of the State of Oregon.
The Constitution of the State of Oregon.
The Home Rule Charter.
The Home Rule Charter.
And the laws of the County of Multnomah.
And the laws of the County of Multnomah.
And I will faithfully and honorably conduct myself.
And I will faithfully and honorably conduct myself.
In the office of Multnomah County Commissioner District 2.
In the office of Multnomah County Commissioner District 2.
To which I have been elected.
To which I have been elected.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Wow. So I cried this morning during my remarks, or at least I choked up. I promised myself I wasn't going to do it again, but you all know me well. You know I'm a weeper, and I may do that again. Thank you all so much for being here. First of all, thank yous to this wonderful group of women I'm standing on the stage with. There are so many firsts, and as Tana and I talked about, seconds, because it's not just the first that matters, it's who comes after. That's why we have a first, so that we can have a second and a third and a fourth. And all of you represent such strength in women's leadership. I'm honored to have had your support. I'm honored that you would be here for this ceremony. There are many other people I want to thank. I'm not going to give you my stump speech all over again. I'll say that right now. Many of you have heard it more than once. There are so many people I want to thank, though. You know, I look around this room and I see people who come from all parts of my life, starting with college. My college roommate is in this room. Lauren Isaac. Lauren met me literally 3 weeks after I stepped foot on these shores. My college roommate, there are friends from my law practice, there are friends from the boards that I've served on, friends and colleagues. my neighbors, my tennis partners. It is really so heart-filling to see you all here, so thank you for coming. I want to thank my campaign team. Jillian was a key part of my campaign team. Paige Richardson, I think, is here somewhere. And also Roberta Phillip Robbins and Lily Hogue. They took me on as a complete novice. They stuck with me, and they actually made campaigning about as fun as it can be, and let me tell you, that is a difficult job. I want to thank my colleagues-to-be. In addition to Chair Scafuri, I want to thank Sharon Myron, Jessica Vega-Peterson, Lori, there you are. Put your hands up, put your hands up. I want to thank you for your support, for your advice, and your warm welcome. I am so thrilled to be working with you all. I can't wait. I want to thank my team-to-be, my staff, Sarah Ryan. Sarah, my chief of staff. Sarah comes to the county after having run the Oregon Labor Candidate Training School. I want to Angela Donnelly, my policy advisor. Angela was previously chief of staff to State Senator Sarah Gelser. And Janine Gates, my constituent relations liaison. And Janine is coming back to the county. She was at the county as an intern. She then worked in City Commissioner Amanda Fritz's office, and she's back at the county. Please meet them. I hope you'll be working with them. I am thrilled to have this group of strong, committed public servants, women again. Sorry, guys, but this is just how it is on my team. I'm just so excited. I want to thank my family. My parents are in India, so they couldn't be here. You know, one of the advantages of this long on-ramp that I had, I said this morning that this process has been like the longest job interview in the world, followed by the longest waiting period in the world. But one of the advantages of that waiting period was that I got to spend 3 weeks with my parents, and I realized two things. One, that I had not spent that much time with them since I finished college. Before, until now, for 30 years, it's been about a week or 10 days at a time. And so that was such an incredible privilege. And I realized what a sacrifice they made when they sent me and my sister here to the United States. It was a cost in terms of money. It was not something they could well afford. And, you know, they're now getting older and we are here. But they made that sacrifice because they believed in, I'll call it the American dream. I don't know that that's how they would have talked about it, and I think we know that that American dream is out of reach and non-existent for too many people, but I think that's how they thought of it. And that's why they sent us here and made that sacrifice, and that's what makes this possible, so I am endlessly grateful to them. And my children. My son Josh couldn't, oh, there it goes again. Good Lord, it's a fountain. My son Josh couldn't be here tonight. He's in San Francisco, undergoing a job transition of his own. But my daughter, Tara, is here. You have to wave. I'm sorry, sweetie. My parents made this possible, and my children teach me every day the better world that is yet still possible. So thank you, guys. And then I want to say a couple of words about that land acknowledgement that we read. And why I decided to do it. You know, when I was out canvassing and campaigning in the county, I realized that a lot of people have no idea what the county does. So this was something that I tried to change a little bit. And when they do know about the county, and when they think about what we do, they think about our programs. So they think about sun schools, or they think about homeless services. And really, to me, what all of that adds up to, the work of the county. The work of the county is social justice. The work of the county is equity. The work of the county is making sure that everyone has what they need to thrive in this community. That doesn't mean equality. It doesn't mean everyone has the same thing. It means everyone has what they need in order to thrive in this community. And that's the future that we want to build. We can't build that future, I believe, until we acknowledge and grapple with our past. That's not to say we live in our past, but we need to acknowledge it. There's a through line between the forcible removal of Native Americans from their land to the displacement that we see here in our district all around us. And until we recognize that, we need to recognize that in order to build what comes next. So That was why I chose to do the land acknowledgement. It's only a first step, it's a beginning. What it really is a commitment to then take that next step towards building the future that we all want to see. And that's what I commit to. I know you wouldn't be here unless you were committing to it as well, with me, with us, with all of us who are working on this. I so appreciate that, and I look forward to working with you on it. Thank you. That's it. Finish the samosas.